Welcome to another day in Life with Sandy. Okay, today we're going to start off with some grapes and an apple, tea and water. Well, hello. Today is Thursday, January 12th, and we do have only one birthday today. Today is Angela Sample's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Angela. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope you have a great birthday, Angela. As you can hear, my voice is starting to crack again. I was reading on Google, my Google News this morning, that Kelly Ripa has the same thing. I think there's some kind of like a bug going around, and I know I'm conspiracy theorist. I believe in conspiracy theories. I guess that's a better way of putting it. I just find it so ironic that they can say, well, you're going to get sick at this time of the year, and then everybody gets sick. Now, I understand that you're going around and you're seeing people and, like you're mingling and all that good stuff, and you're indoors and your heat is on and blah, blah, blah. I understand all that. But it just seems strange to me because I believe in germ warfare, and I do believe they're testing out things on us as guinea pigs. I really, truly do. I probably am wrong, but that's what I believe. I really do believe that because it just seems so strange. Now, I realize when you're outside in the spring and the summer, the weather is nicer. It's not conducive to germs, breeding. And you get the sunshine, so you get the extra vitamins from that, and you're a lot more active and blah, blah. I understand all of that. I just find it very ironic. And then when they say what kind of virus you're going to have this flu season, we're going to have this. How do they know that? I know it's science, blah, I know all of that. It's just, I find it very strange. I really do find it very strange. I also realize as I'm getting older, things are going to latch on and stay with me longer. Not my memory. That's not going to happen. I don't know why, but memory doesn't stay with me, but it should. Although I can remember far away, which long ago. But I was just today, you go into the room and why am I in this room? What am I doing? What am I doing in here? I spent today cleaning out my desk, getting rid of some stuff from last year that I don't need to keep for this year, and getting rid of the taxes from that previous year because I keep them from 7 years back. So I think I got rid of 2015 because I think I got to keep 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. Yeah, I had to keep 16. No. Yeah, I had to keep 16, so I got rid of 15s. And then just stuff that I kept through the year that I didn't really need. I got all my tax information together, so when I have all my W-2 forms and all the good stuff like that, I can just drop my taxes off and get them done. And I'm just not really hungry today. I don't know why. I did eat breakfast. It was a very kind of late breakfast. It's almost 4 o'clock and I haven't eaten lunch. I'm just not hungry at all. Yesterday I only ate half of my burger. I forgot to tell you that last night. It was so good and it was so juicy and it was it hit the spot to a point. Let me explain. Because I only ate half of it, so I'm going to have the other half for my dinner tonight, probably with a salad. So I took some of my weeklies back because I didn't go over because I figured it was 5 points for the bun and 6 points for the burger. So I rounded it off to 12. So I subtracted 6 points from yesterday, which put me under my 23 points. It brought me at 21 points. And so I left my 31 alone today. So I'm going to have 6 points for dinner, and I'm probably going to just have a salad with it. I'm feeling I'm eating better. I really do. But coming back to my burger, I had the burger, and I know I could have air fried the fries. I just didn't have the patience. And I know it's probably just as much time, all of that. But I just put them in some oil and fried them, like a deep fried. So I had the French fries. I did have the lettuce, and I did end up having a whole tomato. And then I ate half of the burger. I drank the rest of my mango dragon fruit drink. I don't think I showed it. Because when I got home, what happened was when I was in the car and I was trying to get all my stuff together and my elbow hit the straw and the straw bent over and had a hole in it. So when I went to suck up the rest of the the drink, they wouldn't come up because there was a hole and the air was escaping. So I brought it in the house and I just put it in the refrigerator and I thought I'll get back to it. You know, I did some stuff around the house. And I completely forgot it was there until I was getting stuff out for dinner. And then I thought, oh, I can have this for dinner now. So I had that. And then the little bit I had left, the little dragon fruits that were left on the bottom, I poured the rest of my diet cranberry pineapple juice in it. It was quite a mixture, but it was very good. It really was really good. So I did have that last night. But between the burger that I fried and the French fries, which I fried, and the drink, which I drank, I ate too fast because I was so looking forward to eating it. And when I drink, I'm one of these people that when I eat, I drink at the same time. You know, like I'll take some food, and then while the food's still in my mouth, I'll drink something to kind of wash it down. Jim can drink it. He'll eat his whole meal and not have anything to drink until he's done. I don't know how people can do that. Oh, how do you do you do that? I'm just kind of curious because he does that. My brother-in-law, Don, does that. There's a couple people that I know that they eat all of their food, and then when they're done, then they drink. Now, I drink as I'm eating, so I'm just kind of curious, how do you guys do it? Because that's what I do. But anyway, I think with the combination of all of that, I had such indigestion. Oh, and then I started coughing because I really do think I did a little bit too much yesterday. I'm feeling pretty good today. But last night, I was really, really tired. Because you figure I went to the bank, then got my hair cut, then I went to Kroger's, then I went to the post office, then I went to Lowe's, then I went to Kohl's, then I went to Target, and then I stood in the Starbucks line. So I think that, and then I came home and made dinner. I just think I was over optimistic about how much better I was feeling. So at night when we were watching our Chicagos, I was coughing a lot. So I thought, well, I usually take my cough medicine before I go to bed just so I don't make so much noise to wake up Jim. And I am one of these noisy sleepers. I know that. I don't snore. I really don't snore. Because Jim tells me the only time I really snore is if I have a cold and my nose is blocked up. Because he tells me I don't snore, but I make a lot of noise. So the rule in my family ever since I was a child, and especially when we went to the cottage and we were in small spaces, I either had to go to bed first before everybody went to bed so I could fall asleep and stop making my noises, or I had to wait till everybody was asleep and then I could go to bed. Because if you've ever watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, when John Candy's in bed and he's going, I can't put the clip in here because I'll get copyright infringement. But that's me. That's the noises I make because my sinuses, I probably should have had my adenoids out when I was younger, but I never did. You know, we had no insurance when I was growing up, so if you got sick, you got sick, and, you know, when I broke my arm, I had to go to the hospital. But, you know, my mother, if you had stitches, my mother took the stitches out. If she could have figured out a way to put the stitches in, she would have put the stitches in, you know. But when your stitches were time to come out, you sit there in the kitchen counter and she'd get out all of her little tweezers and her little scissors and she'd take your stitches out. You didn't have to do that. As a matter of fact, I think when I took my cast, no, she took me for my cast because they had to saw it off. But I think if she would have figured out a way she could have done it, she would have done it herself. Okay, where was I going? We just talked about this. Oh, so I took the cough medicine so that I wouldn't make too much noise when, a couple hours before. So the combination of the cough medicine in my stomach, all the food and the fried food and all that, I had major indigestion. So I ended up staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning because it was bad. I took a couple Tums, which kind of settled me a little bit. I did chew a little bit of gum, but it was bad. It was really bad. But I slept until 11 o'clock. I got my 8 hours of sleep in. But then I rolled over and Jim was still in bed too. Jim went to bed at midnight. So Jim slept like 11 hours. So I told him, I says, we're getting to be old, lazy slugs. Old people aren't supposed to sleep that much. But I know it's because we're getting over being sick. So anyway, I'm feeling better today. Like I said, I'm pretty much doing stuff sitting down. I watched all my videos. Kim at a girl on her phone was saying about, oh, congratulations, Kim. She got to put another button on her little wall. She's at 95 pounds. But she was saying that when she went to the doctor, he told her so much stuff, and when she got home, she didn't remember. When I go to the doctors with my sister Mary, because Denise and I switched off going with Mary, just because she said they tell her so much information, it's kind of hard to comprehend it all. That we tape it on our phones. We record what the doctor is saying. She goes to like 5 different doctors. Not one of the doctors has complained. They actually kind of encourage it, because then they said you have no excuses when you get home that you didn't know what I told you to do. And then we also take backup notes. We bring a little notebook out and we take notes. And so, Kim, you ought to try that next time you go to the doctors. I mean, they tell you so much stuff, and you think, I do it myself when I go. I record. If I'm, like if I'm just going for a normal visit, I don't really worry about it. But like when I go for my thyroid doctor, when he's telling me all the stuff about my thyroid, I record it because I want to get home and hear again what he said, because you're listening, but you're not really hearing, if that makes sense. So, Kim, try that next time. So I watched her. I watched Valerie Reese. She's still recovering from her surgery, but her sister's over, so that's nice. It's always nice to have family around. And then I watched Weight Watchers with Carrie, and I'm glad her mother-in-law had good surgery. And then who else did I watch? I think that was all I watched, because I was pretty much caught up. And then I did my file cabinet and stuff like that. I talked to Christy. She's feeling better. Erin's still doing okay. She's just going to wait until Tuesday to send Sophia back to school. She said there's really no point in just sending her tomorrow for one day. And then they have Monday off because of Martin Luther King Day. So she's just going to send her back on Tuesday. But she said she's feeling pretty good. Christy her doctor gave her some medication for COVID that you take right away. And Christy took it like at 1:30. And then when she got off work at 3 o'clock, because she works from home, she took a shower. And then when she got out of the shower, she said she had this horrible taste in her mouth. And she thought maybe it was the body wash that she used that somehow got into her mouth. So she gargled and stuff like that. And she said it got worse and worse. And then she had the dry heaves and she had diarrhea. And she couldn't get the taste out of her mouth. So she said the cure was worse than the disease. So she wasn't going to take it. So I called her today, and she said she didn't take it again. But she said she is feeling better. So hopefully just a one dose will kind of... She has a very mild case, so hopefully that'll work for her. And then Jim went to work today. I watched my Law and Orders tonight. And that's it. But today I want to talk about not living in the past. I think the reason I did so poorly in 2022, a lot of reasons why I did so poorly in 2022. One of the main reasons I did so poorly in 2022 was because I kept looking back at how far I had been, and I wasn't really learning from my mistakes. And I kept telling you that I wasn't going to get into the next set of digits, because when I was really doing really well on my weight, if I was like teetering on like the 20s and the teens and the 20s and the teens, I would really get really gung-ho. And then when I actually got into the 20s, I got really discouraged because I was like firmly in the 20s, and I thought, well, I'm not going to do it. And then I got into the 30s, and then I got into the 40s, and then eventually I did get into the 50s just before Christmas. And I thought, you know what? You're following your past patterns. This is exactly what you did in the past. It's like you said you weren't going to get into the next set of digits, and then what did you do? You went into the next set of digits. And then what did you do after that? You went into the next set of digits, just like you did in the past. And if I would have kept up on that road, I would have ended up back up at my 304.2. And I finally, it took me a while, but I finally figured out that that's what I was doing. I also figured out that you kept comparing yourself to your old you. If you don't learn from your past, you're an idiot. I mean, I'm really, there's a reason that there was a lesson that you should have learned in the past. You really should have learned the lesson. That's not to say that you didn't make mistakes in the past. Everybody's made mistakes in the past. Everybody can look back and say, well, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that. Anybody can say that. And I think that where you go wrong and where you really make stupid mistakes is when you acknowledge what you did wrong, but you don't learn from what you did wrong. I acknowledged the whole year what I was doing wrong. I acknowledged that I was letting myself get into the next set of numbers. But then I didn't do anything about it. I let myself get into the next set of numbers after that. And once again, I acknowledged that I didn't want to do that anymore, but then I did it again. So I really feel that in 2022, I did not learn from my past mistakes. I just was kind of embellishing on them and just thinking, well, I don't really have to worry about it. I always told myself that as long as I didn't quit, I was a success, and I still do believe that. I think as long as you keep trying, you're a success. But I think that if you don't acknowledge the mistakes that you made, even though you're trying, you're kind of failing just a little bit. You're not a complete failure, but you're failing just a little bit because you're not acknowledging where your mistakes lie. And I think that when 2021 came, or 2023 came along, and I got on the scale, and I just know at this time. I just know. A combination of everything. A combination of the fact that I'm not getting any younger, number one. Number two, that I gained so much weight over the last 2 years. That was another acknowledgement. I think, but the main thing that really made me acknowledge the fact that I really needed to get back on plan is getting sick. I just think that if I would have been eating healthier, I'm not saying I wouldn't have got sick, because I told you at the beginning, germ warfare, I think that's going on. But I don't think it would have grabbed onto me as badly as it did. And I don't think it would have held on as long as it has, because I'm going over 3 weeks now. I'm 3 weeks and 2 days. So I'm 23 days into this. And I don't ever remember ever in my life being this, not this sick, but sick this long, not feeling well this long. I've had, like I worked in the public, like I worked at Montgomery Wards from 1987 until 1997. And then I worked in an office building with a bunch of people from 97 to 2012. In between that, like between 71 and 87, I worked odd jobs where I took public, like I worked for retail and things like that. So it's not like I wasn't involved with the public, because I was. And I think that they kind of build up my resistance to germs, plus the fact that I was younger and healthy. Even though I was overweight, I always felt that I was healthy. We have a thing, not anymore, but we had a thing that you would go to the malls once a year, and they called it Healthorama. And you would go, and it was completely free. And you would go and you would get your blood pressure tested and your weight, and they would take all your blood work and run it and tell you what your cholesterol was and what your sugar levels were and your white blood cells and your red blood cells, all of that stuff. Then you could go for a screening for like breast cancer. They had all of this stuff when it was free, and I went all the time, and my stuff always came back really well. My family used to get, my cholesterol has never been over, my bad cholesterol has never been over 140. It's always been like right at, and they would, and my sisters, like they'd look at a stick of butter and then their cholesterol would shoot to 210, 220. I don't know what it was about me. And even my doctor would always say, because he was a jokester, and he would look at it and he said, Sandy, if somebody was to look at your chart and they'd say, boy, this is a really healthy individual, I'd like to meet this person. And then they'd meet you and they'd look at you and they'd say, this can't be hers. She's way overweight. No, this can't be hers. So I was very fortunate to take for granted that I always had my health. And I can't do that anymore. And I have to make sure that I'm eating healthier, and I think that was a lesson that I learned from my past, that when I eat healthy, I feel healthy, I am healthy. So I did learn that. I also learned you can't change things in the past. You just can't. But you have to learn from things that you did in the past. A lot of us think it would be nice if we could go back and just change that one thing. But like the butterfly thing effect, if you change just that one thing in your past life, it's changed where you are right now. It'll change everything about your life. And I like my life. I really do like my life. I don't like being sick like this, but I like my life. I really do. And I plan on being around a while. And to do that, I got to eat healthier. So anyway, what lessons have you learned from your past? And if you could change your past, well, you can't change your past. I just got to telling you can't change your past. You just can't. The only thing I would have done differently that maybe wouldn't have affected we still would have. Still would have. But if I knew that I could change something in my past and it would lead me to where I am right now, it would have been that I lost my weight when I was in my 20s. That's the only thing I can think of. But my whole life would have been different. I wouldn't have met all you guys. I wouldn't have, because I would have never started a YouTube channel. I never would have. So you take the good, you take the bad facts of life. Anyway, so let me see what we had to eat today, and then I'll come back later and close out the video. Talk to you guys soon. Okay, let's eat breakfast. Today is Thursday, January 12th. 24 dailies, 31 weeklies. The reason I didn't take any weeklies off from yesterday is because I only ate half of the burger, so I didn't go over my points yesterday. My quote is, there's only one thing more painful than looking back, and that is from not learning from past mistakes. You saw earlier I had an apple, grapes, and tea and water for a snack. My breakfast is 5 points. 2 points for my Aunt Millie's low-carb bread for 2 points. 3 points for a tablespoon of raspberry jelly. And 0 for my berries, banana, tea. I have a couple pieces of chicken, and I forgot my eggs. So, 5 points. All right, I'm going to have a late lunch. I'm going to have some cheese and crackers, some Jell-O, and some vegetables. 3 points for my 5 Ritz crackers, 4 points for an ounce of cheese, and 0 for my veggies, Jell-O, and water. So it is a 7-point lunch. Okay, for dinner tonight, I'm going to have a salad with the other half of my burger, an unsweetened iced tea, and that's the dressing I use, which is very high in points, but I just wanted something a little bit different for my dinner tonight. So it is a 12-point dinner, 5 points for my half a burger. I probably should have counted it as 6. Oh well. Salad is 0. My dressing is 6. I have a couple olives in there for 1 point. And my iced tea is 0. So I ended up the day with 24. I get 24 in the day. So, well, actually maybe 25. But, yeah, I'm still going to leave it at 5. Okay, that's going to do it for tonight. Wasn't that hungry. I ate a little bit. I'm eating because I have to eat, but don't have much of an appetite. I noticed when I was tracking my Weight Watchers app, I had to re-sign into the app because now they have the beating highlights back in the little area in the bottom where it used to be, and then they changed it to recipes, and then people went crazy. And so now they have it back that we can get the highlights back in there. So that was good news. Yesterday, a lot of you were saying that I must have dropped my microphone. I guess you didn't. I know a lot of people just listen to me, they don't watch, but I had written across the screen that the beginning of my video where I was driving to the bank, first off, I didn't realize that my microphone had fallen, and so that's why the sound was so bad during that. I tried everything I could in my editing and to turn it up louder, but that was the best I could do. And also, a lot of people don't like when I do it in the car. A lot of times I just do it because it's more convenient for me. I apologize that it's harder for you to hear. I understand that. But, when you do a daily vlog, it's kind of hard to sometimes just sit down at a chair and get it in. So I try my best. I really do try my best. I didn't take any of it as criticism. Please don't think I took it as criticism, because I didn't take it as criticism. I always ask you what you think I can do better on my videos and what annoys you on my videos and things like that. So I appreciate that. In the winter, I don't drive that much, so you shouldn't get that many car vlogs. I've been pretty much trapped in my house for 3 weeks, not going anywhere, so it was nice to get out. So that's going to do it for tonight. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button, share if you think somebody might like to see it. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Stay healthy, because that's what I'm trying to do.